So I'm a big fan of boxing. So is the important of expat. We like boxing, so that's what we're going to talk about first. So, as far as let's talk about fights. Let's talk about fights that are being made right now. The boxing world is looking a little bit weak, in my honest opinion, on the fact that there's no fights that I'm excited to see that are
Yeah,
currently going on. Yes,
right.
there's big fights. We got the Tim Tszyu versus I forget Keith One Time Thurman. That's a big fight, but I'm not excited to see it. You got the Rolly Romero, you got Isaac Cruz. That's a big fight, but I'm not excited to see it.
Right.
The only fight that I was excited to see was two. Is the Fury Usyk, which is now postponed because Tyson Fury got a cut, and
Right.
Ngannou versus Anthony Joshua. And I want to
Hmm.
see Anthony Joshua get knocked out, guys. That's what I want to see because of the disrespect that he offered my favorite fighter, Deontay Wilder. Like he should have been fought Deontay. He didn't, but he's gonna fight this next dude in a drop of a heartbeat. I don't like that. I don't respect that. So I want to see Joshua get knocked out by
Yeah.
Ngannou. Of course they're both black, so of course they're both gonna make millions. So nobody losing either way. But I don't respect Joshua based off his disrespect to Wilder.
No,
So
I feel like he made him he gave Anthony what is his name, Wilder, to run around,
uh-huh.
and now that Wilder is not at his best, he's not in his prime anymore. Like he's taken some L's recently. Now he's like, I'll fight you, but then there's stipulations on the fight, like you have to win this fight in order to fight me and stuff like that. So I just didn't like it, and I don't like how he treated Wilder in public, but then when they was behind the scenes, he like dapping them up and acting like they cool. But it was like you kind of like dissed them, in a public eye. It's a grown man talking to you, and you just gonna ignore him like you don't hear him. And then y'all go backstage, you like, "What's up, man? What's up?" Trying to take
no,
flicks and stuff.
no, the disrespect is this. How can you and Wilder be talking about fighting for 8 years and never fight? Now Francis Ngannou did one fight a few months ago, and now you're ready to sign a deal, ink the deal, and you're fighting the man. I just don't
Yeah.
understand that. And so it's clear that he was ducking, Wilder, but that's neither here nor there. So that's what I'm saying as far as the fights being made. There's no fights that I'm excited to see that are currently being made. As far as other news, what you got for other news, MC? What you got?
There's a boxer by the name of Keyshawn. He was on basically like they were answering some questions with the press, and it
Okay.
was him. It was him and Teofimo Lopez. Now Teofimo Lopez, I actually enjoy him as a fighter. He's a
Yes. Yeah. He's one of my favorites in the division.
right.
Mm-hmm.
So they're answering some questions, and of course, during those things you're mic'd up. So Keyshawn has a fight coming up with some unknown fighter. I don't know the other guy's name. And basically, Teofimo was in favor of his opponent winning a fight. And so he decides that he kind of wants to check Teofimo, even though Teofimo is a wild dude. Like he tries to check him, and he's like, I don't like the disrespect. Like, have I ever disrespected you, Teo? Teo like, nah, like, what you mean? Like, he confused as what's going on. So he's like, bro, like, I respect you, but I feel like you was disrespecting me when you said you was in favor of my opponent winning. And so Teo's like, it's not that serious. You know what I mean? Like, it's just boxing. Like, it's not that serious. And so he basically was trying to get Teo to like apologize to him for saying that he wants his opponent to win. And in my head, I'm just like, you a man, like you a boxer and you a man. Why are you begging another man to apologize about how he feels about boxing? That's
Right.
his opinion. And I wasn't respecting that. To me, it's just like go out there and prove him wrong. Make him eat those words. You know what I mean? Like win a fight and be like, oh yeah, you was voting on my opponent and I still took that home. So what you gotta say now? I feel like that would have been a better approach, but instead he tried to like, little boy him and I ain't like that.
I feel like a lot of people right now care so much about a next man's opinion, you know?
It's
And
running rampant.
yeah, and if you really care about a next man's opinion, it really does limit your ability to be great. You know what I mean? Because you start doing stuff for other people and not for yourself. And even myself, I fall into that trap sometimes, worrying about a next individual's thought process. And when you start worrying about a next individual's thought process, you start to not think yourself, and that becomes dangerous. The Most High don't bless your ventures because you
Right.
didn't act in the right accordance. You started going off what a next individual think. You know, every
Right.
time I do something like that, I don't win. I don't progress in the way that I thought I would progress. You know, so
Mhm.
you know, that's why I try to just avoid that overall. But you know, peer pressure is, you know, a strong force. It's a strong motivational force. So sometimes you got to somehow find a way to counteract that.
Right, right. I agree, but as humans, of course, sometimes we go astray, but at the same time, you always got to remember, like, you got to stay in your own lane. Your path is your path, and you listening to somebody else or following somebody else's footsteps to try to get somewhere, it's not gonna work. So you just got to stay in your own lane. Stop seeking approval from others.
Right, right. And just on that note, like I said, Teofimo Lopez is one of my favorite fighters. But his
Hmm.
interviews, every time I watch him speak, I feel like I'm losing brain cells. So I cannot listen to his interviews because it's like, bro, what in the world are you talking about? I don't even think
Yeah.
he himself knows what he's talking about. So, you know, that's one person I can't listen to an interview from is Teofimo. But inside the
Hmm.
ring, he's top tier, you know. So shout out to him.